today is the last lesson for this module.
Yeah.
Okay. Last, or not last? Not last. Last, right? This is the class that never ends. So today will be the last, then we have a break in September. And after that, we'll come back. We'll come back and we'll have the extension module, or module 4 again. So, where did we stop?
Number 9.
We stop here. We finished number 9?
No, page number 8.
We finished number 8. Is that correct? Yes. So we finished number 8. Now come to number 9. Let's see how we finish it. So, did you all do the homework?
No.
No, don't like yourself. You all may be thinking that, hey, Sifu, you know, we're supposed to practice no self. Then you ask us to look at the mirror. Yeah. And, yeah, I know that it's very tempting, right? Once you look at the mirror, you will spend 1 hour there. But you all do spend 1 hour there, right? And how many minutes do you all spend there? 15 minutes? Like looking at the mirror? I mean, not looking at the mirror, like brushing your teeth, washing your face, applying your serum, SK2. Oh, who knows? I have insider information. Yeah, do the exercise. Yeah, because I think between ourselves and others, sometimes we just have a cursory glance. But then if you really sit down and look at another person, then you realize, hey, there's a lot of features about that person that we miss out. You know? Then you realize that, oh, we never really look at the people around you really closely. You know? And likewise ourselves. Take a look at the face that's look back, yeah? Whether it's young or old, yeah? Or for that matter, you can do a reflection on the emptiness of gender. Yeah? Look at the face and say, what makes this face male or female? You know, if you look at just the eyebrows, is there any femaleness or maleness of the eyebrow? How about the eyes? If you just look at the eye itself, is there any maleness or femaleness? Yeah. Can be an enlightening experience as well. Yeah. And then the other exercise, how about the spouse exercise? Besides Wilson, anybody else? Yeah. How about the rest? Did y'all try it? Try it, okay? So previously we covered Qing An, translated as serenity. Yeah. Serenity. And how that can actually help us overcome heaviness or grossness. Yeah. So this week we take a look at Wu Fang Yi. Wu Fang Yi. So what is Fang Yi? Loosely can be translated as being slack. Can be translated as being slack. Let me take a look. Indolence. Oh no, let me see. 21, derivative, ungenerosity, deceit, harmlessness. heedfulness. Heedfulness. So, 放逸 would be heedlessness. Yeah. 放逸 would be heedlessness, 不放逸 non-heedlessness, or heedfulness. Let's look at the other translation from the hand. We have carefulness. So, but what is 放逸? The term, let me maybe write it down. Today we have, what is today's date?
1st of September.
Today is amazing day. Today is
Teacher's Day.
what is it?
Yeah, it's Teacher's Day.
It is Thursday. Yes, 1st September is Teacher's Day.
Yes.
Oh, happy Teacher's Day.
You're trying to tell us something you said.
No, I'm just trying to tell myself.
Okay.
Oh. 说者无心，听者有意。I don't know what he is laughing at. Yeah. Oh, no wonder people start texting me happy Teacher's Day. Okay, so 不放逸。Today, if my handwriting is bad, blame it on the pen. I mean, the person who bought this pen,
You're mad.
let me look around. Better don't look around, I just make blur. Yeah, it's not the person's fault, but it's just that my handwriting tend to go crazy when I use both my pen. But let's see. Okay, 不放逸. So, this is translated as heedfulness, or being careful. But another way to understand this is what is 放逸? What is 放逸? 放逸, another word that is even stronger is this word 放逸 itself is unrestrained. Which means that 不放逸 means to be restrained. Meaning what? Like, first I explain in terms of, let's say, monastics, okay? So the Buddha advised monastics that when they go on alms round, by default, when a person goes on alms round, then they have to enter the city, they have to enter the village, where the bus is there, not bus, but the bus of city, of lay life is, like there's a lot of people trading, people going to the market, and so on and so forth. There's men, there's women, there's young people, there's old people. So the Buddha's advice to the monastic was that when entering the place of residence, when entering the place where lay people are at, they should guard their senses. Guard the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. In particular, with reference to things outside there, eyes, nose, tongue, body. But once it's entered, then the mind as well. To live with restraint. So, meaning that when there are certain specific verses that says, when entering the place of residence, one should not walk around looking left and right. Looking left and right. One should not allow one's eyes to wander about. When an eye see form, to be mindful, to be watchful, to guard the senses. Now, that is to be with the senses restrained. Now, the reverse would be what do you all do when you all go to, let's say, what is the latest mall in town? Okay, listen to go to mall. Easy working. No time to go to mall. What is the latest mall? Shopping mall?
Online mall.
Huh? Let's not look at. You have to go shopping now. Huh?
精进。
Oh goodness. Recently, I went to Mount E to do a hospital visit. So I was in Orchard Road, you know. You all don't go, you all don't, no. Wow, this is amazing, huh? Sure not, okay. Oh, Buddha, huh? You all don't go shopping mall. Alright, so what shopping mall do you all go? Huh?
Junction 8 lor.
Junction
Getting very crowded now.
Poor thing, you know. All people Pokemon.
Our son also can catch Pokemon, why can he not?
Okay, 把脚放下来。That is 放逸。Very simple example.
You should take a picture.
Once in a while, we use 放逸。That class from then suddenly talk until. That is basically 放逸。
放逸
Can understand?
Saki.
Okay,
Best, Guan. Case in point, very good.
But of course, it's not about him. In a way, teasing him, but in a way, it's true. Sometimes, usually he's okay. Once in a while, then a bit funky. So become unrestrained.
Yes.
Yeah, unrestrained. Whether it's in terms of the senses, the behavior, and so on. Yeah. Typically, I say typically. Typically means that not all. Typically, for a lay person, when you go to a shopping mall, regardless of which shopping mall, the intent is to be, entertained by all the stimulation. So you go into shopping mall, what do? For a limited few, you go into the shopping mall with the intent. Okay, today I need to buy some tomato. Yeah, I'm going to walk straight to Sheng Siong. No, Sheng Siong. No, not in a building. Let's say NTUC FairPrice. Ang Mo Kio. You go to Ang Mo Kio, you think, want to go to get some tomato. You walk straight. Yeah, then you turn, go straight into the shopping supermarket. Yeah, and then you go all the way into the cold area, pick up some tomato, or maybe you go to the fresh tomato. Tomato, is it fresh?
Yes.
Fresh, okay. I only know tomato that's inside the fridge. Sometimes the body can eat tomato. The body get queue up, pay, then straight away go to take MRT. A select few do that. Most people, maybe initially they take tomato, then they walk. Before they even reach NTUC, oh, something new. Then, so by the time they reach NTUC, maybe the hands are full, or the mind is full, either the hand or the mind. Then as they enter NTUC, oh, wow, this is something new. Oh, that is something new. Then, what do I want to buy? In this way, most lay people's life is unrestrained. That's why it's difficult to remember to do homework. But that's the way. But of course, for some of you, that may not be the case. But what is it about hatefulness? What is so good about it? Let's take a look. Have we even started on this?
No.
No, I'm so familiar. Maybe because I was reading through it. Okay, 精进三根. Okay, 精进 and three wholesome roots. What are the three wholesome roots? None, greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. Yeah? The three evil and wholesome roots would be greed, hatred, and delusion. And these are also the primary defilements, yeah? Root defilements. Yeah? Why are they considered roots? Again, this is something that we use so often in Buddhism. Sometimes we may not really think about why it's called roots. The reason why it's called roots is because for any plant, you need roots for the plant to grow. Yeah? In fact, when you plant any seeds, one of the first things to grow is actually the roots. Yeah? First to anchor itself and then to absorb moisture from the ground. Yeah? So the Buddha used this as a metaphor that as we cultivate, we plant wholesome seeds, and then the seeds grow, yeah, and form roots. Then that can in turn give rise to future fruits. And the same goes for evil and wholesomeness. Whether it's wholesome or unwholesome, this metaphor applies. Yeah. So at almost any time you find the word roots, it has that meaning. Okay, it has that meaning. In this case, it refers to the three wholesome roots, which is non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion. Okay. So, Jing Jing, effort or diligence, and the three wholesome roots. 于所断修，防修为性。对治放逸，成满一切事，出世间善事为业。So this is the same formula for the past mental concomitants, where it starts with an opening verse, yeah, and then below it explains the verses. Okay, so 于所断修。So what is 所断? Refers to that which is eradicated. What is being eradicated? Of course, defilements. What is being eradicated? The hindrances. What is being eradicated? The evil and wholesome acts. So the wholesome practices allow you to eradicate. So cultivate that. 防修为性. So then the cultivation of the prevention. Then 对治放逸, and it can counter. I'm just saying it brief first, okay? Just going through the line. Then after we go through the text. 对治放逸, it can counter what? The unrestrained aspect of us. Yeah? The heedlessness in us. Being unenlightened, are we always heedful? No, isn't it? In fact, one example of heedlessness is that when things are cruising along fine, when things are like, when unpleasant things are happening, when our practice is not going so well, sometimes we can be quite heedful, can become careful because suddenly something negative happened. But when things seems to be cruising along fine, we practice generosity, we practice loving speech, and people around us, they tend to become cordial, harmonious relation. Then what happens? Relax. If you become complacent. Maybe even sometimes wonder, hey, maybe I should ask Shifu, how do I know whether I'm enlightened already? But shouldn't ask it this way. Maybe I should ask Shifu, how does one know that the person is enlightened? Sometimes devotees will ask me this question. All the Shifu in their life will always be asked this question. How does a person know that they are enlightened? This is common. Last time Shifu also think of this question. How many of you have never thought of this question? See, most people have thought of this question. It's normal. It's not a bad question to ask. Okay. Why? Because that's the whole point of being a Buddhist. right? To become enlightened. No. You shake, some of you shake your head, no. The whole point of being a Buddhist is to become enlightened. What? Then what for? Huh? Am I in the right class? Or are you in the right class? Yeah. The whole business of business of the make money business, as in the whole business, the whole matter of being in Buddhism is to become enlightened. You know, not to join into this club, sing karaoke, you know. Yeah, or attend Dharma class, laugh a bit, go back home, come back next week and laugh. Yeah, it's really a serious business, you know, to become enlightened. Yeah. So if you ever ask yourself this question, hey, how do I know I'm enlightened or not? That's a good sign that you are in the right direction. Whether you're progressing forward or backward is another thing. You know. So once in a while you should check. Hey, am I more enlightened today than last week? Yeah. But what does it mean to be more enlightened? Yeah. One easy gauge is, do you have more or less agitation in your mind? Yeah. Do you have more of the defilements? We haven't gone through that. In a few more pages, we will go through that. So as we go through all the wholesome qualities, you can go through and ask yourself, do I have more wholesome qualities this week than last week? Yeah. Or do I have more arising of wholesome qualities? How about unwholesome qualities? But again, not to go on a beating yourself trip. Ego trip not good, beating yourself trip is also not good. Sometimes can be worse. Yeah. Some of us are overly critical of ourselves. Then you can, because of Dharma learning becomes like self-loathing. That's not good. And that's not the purpose of the Dharma. So do a cross self-examination. Check yourself. In this way, you know whether you are progressing and becoming more enlightened. So, you can counter the unrestrained aspect of us. 尘满一切 can accomplish, you can bring to perfection. Yeah? Everything. What about everything? 是出世间. 出世间, 世间, 出世间. This part here is 世间, 出世间. Meaning worldly and supramundane. Yeah? Mundane and supramundane. 世 and 出世间. Can you not follow?
Yes.
Who cannot follow? Anybody lost? Anybody okay? Lost? Raise your hand. Anybody lost? Okay, so I'm now talking about this one. That through this restrained aspect of our quality, we can do what? 尘满一切是出世间. So this one, the 是出世间. So 是出世间. Actually, it means 世间, 出世间. Yeah, so 世间 means mundane, or mundane world, and the supramundane. What about this two? 世间善事, 出世间善事. Yeah. So in other words, mundane, wholesome good, wholesome deeds, and supramundane wholesome deeds. So, the function of this heedfulness is to bring to completion, to allow us to attain worldly wholesome deeds or practices, and also supramundane wholesome practices. Let's take a look. 这部放逸，并无别的这个体性，而以精进。Yeah, so earlier we have 精进, right? Yeah, this is diligence or effort. 无他无嗔无痴, this is the 三根. Okay? Can you follow? Yeah. 四法为体. Yeah, so this four is a 四法为体. So the essence of this hatefulness is none other than this diligence, non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. Yeah. This hatefulness has these four as its essence, as its body, so to speak. It doesn't have any other kind of essence. It's basically these four as its essence. If you consider, you may wonder like, okay, but there are different words, so why does it say that it has its essence? Being restrained, what are you restrained against? You are restrained against unwholesomeness. Yeah? What is unwholesome? Greed, hatred, delusion. So being restrained against this, then it's basically non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. And then if you have and being restrained against what is opposite. So this jing effort, we have learned beforehand the effort, right? Remember the 2x2 box?
Yeah.
The 2x2 box. What is the 2x2 box? Can you remember? Wholesome and unwholesome. Again, it's all about wholesome, unwholesome. Horizon and unhorizon. Then altogether, that four. Can you all remember?
Yes.
What was the example I gave? Chocolate or dog poop? Yeah. Chocolate represents the wholesomeness. Dog poo is the unwholesomeness. You want to put dog poo in your mouth? If you want, some of you go on. Yeah. If you don't have dog poo in your mouth, what must you do? If Wilson takes some dog poo and go around trying to shove it in your mouth, what must you do? What must you do?
Stay away.
Stay away. At all costs. Isn't it? Will you say, never mind for a while, it's okay. You know? Of course not, isn't it? But one day, let's say you're in a bus or in a train, then you're sleeping, so tired, rest. Then Wilson appear in the train and then shove it in your mouth, and you wake up with him smiling. Yeah, what must you do? Immediately, yeah. Or do you think, I'm so tired, I have no time to remove the dog shit in my mouth? Yeah. Actually, you think about it, right? We say that we are too tired to meditate, too tired to do this practice or that practice. But if you have dog shit in your mouth, let's not say dog shit. Let's say a house fly enter your mouth. Do you have time to remove it? You have, isn't it? Just a house fly. How about an ant? An ant crawling like that? Maybe you can't feel it. But let's say house fly.
Depends. Last time, army defense exercise, trench digging, when you're really shagged,
so house fly also. Dog shit go inside.
Also too tired.
So, if we really reflect frequently, and can observe our defilements to the point where you can really see how it's damaging to us, then you will not entertain even a moment of that defilement lingering in your mind. You will banish it immediately. So this effort plus non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion, it is basically the essence of this hatefulness. 有精进及以三善根的力量 through this four, the power of this four, through the power of this four, 与所断的恶法防令不起， 于所修的善法修令增长。So this is basically what we have gone through before, isn't it? Yeah. So as far as all the evil and wholesome phenomena or states that we have eradicated, what happened? 防令不起. So this is an aspect of right effort that we have learned before. Prevent it from arising again. Okay? 防令不起. 于所断的恶法. This part here is basically explaining this. So, causes that which is eradicated not to arise, then 于所修的善法, the wholesome Dharma, wholesome practices, wholesome states that we have cultivated, what to do with it? 修令增长, to cause it to grow, to cause it to grow and increase. So, 因此无放逸的体, so hence the essence, 就是于事法的功能上, 假施设有, 功能上假施设有. So, it's basically building on top of this four. This, what is the four? Effort, non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. This four has certain, what do you call it? It has the certain efficacy, certain function. It basically builds on top of that. Okay. 如不放逸, 对治了放逸. So through heedfulness, you counter heedlessness or unrestrainedness. 所以能承办圆满一切有漏无漏的善法. So by this practice, by this cultivation of heedfulness, then you can basically bring to fruition, bring to completion or perfection. 所以能承办, this 承办 means to bring to accomplish. Now, what do you accomplish? Accomplish 圆满, accomplish and bring to perfection 一切有漏无漏的善法. All the有漏, the default and undefault wholesome Dharma. This we have gone through before. So this wholesome mental quality is very closely linked to the earlier one that we have learned before, which is effort. They work hand in hand. So the highlight here is, if you have been practicing, let's say watching your anger, there are so many things to work on, isn't it? So pick something to work on every week. With the SGC group, every week you get a reflection card. Then using the reflection card, you can use that as a point of reference. You can use that as something to reflect upon. So earlier this year, we got everybody to write down 3 things to work on.
Yes.
Right, for this class. So it's already September. How? Anything about it? Every few weeks you should take a look at it. Do a check. Then very busy or not being a Buddhist is a full-time affair. Being a Buddhist is a full-time
Yeah.
don't think that is
Sorry? 7 months.
over already.
Actually, 7 months is a good time, you know. A lot of things are cheaper. When you go traveling, wow, the price is, you know, and you want to go for any of this activity, I think nobody will find you. Yeah,
So need to queue.
don't have to queue for it. You all actually have this mindset that 7 months cannot cut your hair, cannot shift house, cannot get married, cannot do all these things. Don't worry, the camera is facing here. You all can raise your hand. How many of you have this mindset? 7 months?
Mary, maybe not.
Married, no.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, if our parents don't want it, just don't do it lah.
Yes.
Delay 1 month is okay.
So this is a good point, you know. Yeah. Just because you don't have an issue, it doesn't mean other people have no issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't have to try to just make a point. Yeah. Especially when it affects others so adversely. Have some compassion for those who go on to such belief. Yeah. Don't have to do that. So any questions about this? If not, we move on to the next one. Because this is also linked to the right effort. So a lot of the concept we have already, yes.
Is it every month is the 7 month or it must be the 7 month days?
Okay, let me help you rephrase your question. Is it only during 7 months that there are ghosts going around? That's your question, right?
Is it 7 months there are more ghosts there?
During 7 months, you claim long leave. Claim long leave so they can go around.
It's an interesting part of the class.
From what I know, ghosts are around 24/7. Yeah. But contrary to what most people believe, in the sutra, the ghosts and spirits are often seen in the daytime. Yeah, oftentimes in the daytime. You look at Hare Krishna, mostly in the daytime. Yeah, not nighttime. I mean, there are some in the nighttime, but oftentimes the description is that the heavenly beings come during the nighttime. So the moment the heavenly beings arrive, those spirits, they can't stand their presence. They have to retreat. Yeah. So oftentimes the description is that the ghosts around in the daytime. Yeah. But then the description is that the yaksas come out in the nighttime. Yeah. Yaksas. Yeah. Yecang. Yaksas. Not laksa.
Yaksas is not one real month.
So yaksas depend on some lineage put it under like some kind of wild beings. Yeah.
So is that animal or is it asura?
So not Ashura.
Not Ashura.
Not Ashura. So does that answer your question? So any of you seen any ghosts so far recently? Recently, I think the ghosts have a hard time because of Pokemon Go. And then you come out, hey, how come so busy? Hey, this time you don't come out, then that time you all still come out. That's why it's called a movie. That's why it's called a movie. In a movie, still got Superman flying around.
And data is because our human 贪嗔痴, right, the defilements that attract them. And at night, because there's less of that, therefore the heavenly beings prefer.
The heavenly beings prefer to come in the daytime. In Suttas it says, because
In
not
the
so much,
nighttime.
in the nighttime, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's not so much human activity. About the defilements is not so active. Yeah. You have a question?
is it true that the more we cultivate, the more chances we'll reach those?
Any more questions regarding the text? The question about whether it is true that as we cultivate more, then there's a higher chance. I don't see this stated anywhere in the sutra. But those who practice, maybe if they have an increased awareness, they may be more sensitized to the presence of such things. Most of us are so busy, we cannot even, we don't even know whether our family members are around. We're so busy for our work sometimes. You ask, okay, not sexy, but you ask most father, how old are your children? And maybe younger parents are more aware. But remember last time, during Chinese New Year, then sometimes the one father asks another father, hey, young people, then he's like, then they always have to ask the wife, hey, how old are you? But last time we usually do. So, there are some of these things that when the person practices more, then you become more aware. But don't have to be so afraid of ghosts. Are you all afraid of ghosts?
Yes.
Who is not afraid of ghosts? Raise your hand. Yeah, do raise their hand.
So if someone claims they saw something at night, so it's heavenly beings.
What could be ghosts? Yeah, 24/7, always around. Yeah, can be ghosts, why not? No, heavenly beings prefer to come during nighttime. But usually those who encounter spirits or ghosts, or say that they encounter, you must know something. When I counseled some of them, and they say that they see this or see that, this is what I always tell them. I would ask them a lot of questions to ascertain what they really saw and experienced. And sometimes, oftentimes, we come to the conclusion that what they saw or experienced can be explained by many things. Okay? But I don't deny what they have experienced. That means you may have seen something, but that something may not be a ghost. That's what I would often conclude for them, or I bring them to realize. But I don't say that you didn't see anything. If anybody ever tell you they saw something, you may want to first acknowledge and validate the fact that they have seen something. Because unless you are able to read their mind, encompass their mind, and trace back to that few seconds, and then, no, I trace back, there was something. Oh, then okay lah, then you read. But other than that, the moment you say, oh, no, imagination, I tell you, the person may either just shut off, okay, then I don't talk to you, or the person may start to have a lot of self-questioning, which is another problem altogether. Okay, enough about those. Things, so the next one, similar to the previous one in the opening. Jing Jing San Pen. So the same with effort, and then plus the 3 wholesome rules. So earlier on with these 3, then it does something with respect to the even wholesome Dharma, okay, and then also to the wholesome Dharma. Here, 行者. What is 行者? What is the word sir? Basically equanimity. Basically equanimity. You know what is equanimity? Equanimity is not 我常. Yeah. Equanimity, to be able to one simple definition is 不苦不乐 is 舍. But that's in reference to our experience. Neither painful nor pleasant. Later we explore how it's linked to this. Okay? 令心平等正直无功用助为性对治调举静住为业 So this whole quality is more about samadhi, about jhana. So equanimity can be at different levels. Can be at different levels. Here the emphasis is more about when you practice equanimity to the point of the fourth jhana. So let's take a look. 行是行运. So what is 行运? The mental formation. Mental formation. This is 行运. So this is mental formation. So this is part of this is basically the aggregate. Okay. Are you all familiar with the term aggregate?
Yep.
Yeah. In Pali would be khandas. Or skandha. This is in Sanskrit, this is in Pali. And it refers, the term itself, yun, refers to a heap, a pile, a heap of things. Yeah. So the Buddha described in the sutta, the Buddha described the existence of sentient beings in terms of 5 heaps of things, 5 collections of things. Yeah. Forms, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. These 5. Yeah. Are you all familiar with these 5?
Yes.
Anybody not familiar? Everybody familiar? Sure. If I think any of you can. Can or not? Go on.
Familiar is what we mean.
Huh?
It means we can see it as calm, no, definitely not.
That is, you
No.
can enumerate the 5. Can you all list out the 5? What is the first one? Second? Second? Should be able to, I just said it, but. Okay, last row. Last row, what is the first aggregate? Second row, the second aggregate from the back. Second row. You all know yourself which row you see. Okay. On the right side, second last row. Second aggregate. I just listed out. So how many of you don't know about the 5 aggregates? Raise your hand. Not too clear? Raise your hand. Raise up. Can't raise. Once you raise, it's over, no problem. So the 5, you must raise. Yeah? Anytime you attend Dharma talk or Dharma class, you don't know anything, raise. Raise and ask questions. Okay? So the 5 aggregates. Yeah? The 5 aggregates: forms, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. If you attend my classes, I will somehow squeeze this into any classes.
Most important.
Yeah, because this is found in all the suttas. You cannot run away from these 5 things. Yeah, so this is so.
Yeah.
how do you practice or reflect on anatta? Yeah, no self. You don't learn this, how to reflect. So can you memorize this? Yes. So when we come back end of September, we will have a pop quiz. September nobody come back. 色受想行识 yeah. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, and Vijnana. So, in this case, Xing Yun, yeah, the Xing Sha, Xing Yun is under number 4. Okay? Xing. I will not go through the details because if I go through, then we have to extend by another month. Yeah, so these are the 5 aggregates. These 5 should have been covered latest by year 2. By year 2, you all should have learned this already. If not in the first year. Usually, if not first year, then second year should have covered this. So this is the 5 aggregates. Usually for Sankara, there's another term that is used, volition formation. Yeah? Volition formation, and it refers to one specific type of mental formation, which is intent. So, if we talk about the dependent origination, the 12 links of dependent co-arising, then the second link would refer to this particular type of formation, which is volition. Okay? But generally speaking, it's not just about volition. It refers to everything else that is not covered under feelings, perceptions, and consciousness. Yeah? All other mental formation that is not covered under feelings, perceptions, and consciousness is under mental formation. Okay? Now, what about it? What about it? 形是行运，唯以区别受运中的神。So, is to distinguish the within this 受运. What is 受运? Just nice. See, 受运, the aggregate of feelings. Okay. So, to distinguish this particular aspect of this, where it's called equanimity, then it's under this mental formations, okay, and not the same as the just now what I mentioned, neither painful nor pleasant. Okay, so here when we talk about 行者, yeah, this aspect of equanimity is actually under mental formations, because under feelings there's. Are you all familiar with feelings? Say yes. Yes. It should be. You all have feelings or not? Not that kind of feelings. Usually when we talk about feelings, we think about emotions. Yeah. Here is something a bit raw, more raw. There are more base. Okay. What kind of feelings? Painful, pleasant, neither painful nor pleasant feelings. Yeah. Neither painful nor pleasant feelings is also sometimes known as equanimity. So here it says 行者 to distinguish that it's not referring to that particular type. Okay? Not so much that type. Okay? Not so much that type. Okay. 所以称为行者。这行者是以精进三善根。So you may wonder like, but why is it not that type? Now if you think about it, here in the aircon room, in the classroom, are you experiencing equanimity? Actually, you can say that you are experiencing neither painful nor pleasant feelings. Let's say your feet on the ground, unless you're having a cramp. If you're not having a cramp, your feet on the ground, that means the specific part of the bottom of your feet touching the carpet floor. Yeah? Is there any pleasantness there? Not really. Any pain there? Not really. Yeah? But is there any feeling there? Now that I mentioned there is,
Yes,
yeah?
only because we are aware.
Before that, since 7:30 until now for 1 hour, was there any feeling? Don't know. Right? Normal.
这就是吃。
So, why? Because it's neither painful nor pleasant. So it doesn't draw your attention. Doesn't draw your attention, it's oblivious to us. We are oblivious to us, we don't know or don't care that it exists. Yeah? This is, strictly speaking, not equanimity. Yeah? Sometimes translated as neutral. But to me, neutral is a bit too neutral. It doesn't quite bring out the fact that it has a tendency to lead towards like oblivion. We don't care. Yeah? Neutral, you have to be aware of it to be neutral to something. You know, so that's why sometimes I hesitate to use the term neutral. Yeah? To use the term neutral. So this, what I just described, is under the second angle of feelings. Here, 形色, equanimity under the angle of mental formation. So what is the distinction? It is through effort and the three wholesome roots, as its essence also. Yeah. So there's some cultivation involved. If you think about the fourth jhana, it's not just you just sit there and then you experience it. It's an effortful. Initially, it's effortful. Then once you reach a state, it becomes effortless. Yeah? But it's not the same as when you experience the feet. Yeah? Because in the fourth jhana, there's awareness. Yeah? So it's completely different. Yeah? Completely different.
This is 菩萨.
This one is 菩萨. That one is very with a lot of awareness. That equanimity is not this subject, so don't care. It's not the kind of, So, 由此是法令心远离掉举等障. So, here it is that through these four qualities, what are the four qualities again? Effort and three wholesome roots. Yeah. So this equanimity, I'm going to just shorten it to equanimity instead of equanimity within mental formation. Okay, I'm going to just say equanimity. Yeah. It can allow or empower the mind to do what? To be free. Yeah, to be distant and free from 掉举. Yeah, 掉举 in the meditative practices, it refers to when the restlessness of the mind. Yeah, restlessness of the mind. It's basically translated as that. But the mind is unsettled. Unsettled. It can be unsettled due to many things. But basically, things that concerns the mind. The mind is preoccupied with this and that, then the mind becomes restless. So in this aspect, it is that when a person practices, I'm kind of sort of like skipping ahead because part of some of this explain it. But from the meditative practices, from first jhana to second, third, and ultimately fourth, at each stage, the meditator would overcome certain aspects that clog the mind, certain aspects that causes the mind to be unsettled, certain aspects that cause the mind become distracted. Yeah. So within the first jhana, before first jhana, we are in the distracted state, isn't it? Yeah. Just now we already mentioned our favorite Singapore pastime, shopping. Yeah. You go to the shopping center. You all feel tired after going shopping?
Yes.
Some yes, some no. Some after shopping, shopping therapy. Yeah. But you'll find that if you go shopping, maybe your mind becomes more unsettled. If you go for a 1-day retreat, 2 days retreat, 3 days retreat, the more days you go for a retreat, the more alert and energized you become. Yeah? Even though the whole day maybe either you are doing a lot of chanting and puja and dharma class, yeah, or meditation, you may think, oh, but meditation do nothing, huh? But you go and try. Yeah. Maybe initially you are not so conditioned, you feel physically tired, but mentally very alert. Yeah. But you go shopping, quite relaxed in a way, but at the end of the day, mentally can be quite draining. Yeah. And why? Because there's so much stimulus. When you go shopping or you go out, hang out with your friend, mentally, a lot of stimulation. So, for those who practice and near towards first jhana, you must reach a point where you free yourself from stimulation from the external world, from the 5 senses. Some of you may wonder, hey, I come to Kmspksm for meditation class for so many sessions. How I cannot achieve any progress? Hey, but I go overseas to this place and go for a 10-day retreat, a 7-day retreat, a 5-day retreat by this teacher. I experienced so much bliss, I waste my time on Kmspksm. She is not, The reason why many times when we go for a retreat, we seem to experience tremendous progress, in part is sometimes because of the weekly practices we have been doing, not just in Kmspksm, but in various centers. But even more importantly is that when we go overseas, usually it takes a few hours. And in that few hours, you cannot engage in your usual day-to-day activity. So you are already distancing. Before you even reach the retreat center, you take a bus to Penang, you take a bus to Kukup or whichever place for a retreat. The bus journey, what can you do? Rest. By the time you reach there, your mind is already quite free from all the daily doldrums, Or you fly to Dharamsala for retreat or come back, so much blessing and power. Yes, the whole atmosphere, the teachings, but even more importantly is the build-up. It's a build-up. So if you're going for a retreat in Singapore, it's the same, If you can afford that time, you can also do the retreat in Singapore. The trouble is, in Singapore, 3G is cheap, so when during breaks, go to toilet, quickly check. Yeah. So that's why if you join some of the retreats and conduct, I usually confiscate the handphone. Yeah. Then you're wasting your time in the retreat. So if you can do that, then the mind becomes quite withdrawn, then higher chance for it to quieten. It's basically giving the mind some time and then apply a bit of effort. The problem is that we don't want to put in that time, so we think that we can make up with effort. Apply too much effort, then or then you experience tightness in the head, headache. Some things cannot be rushed. Some things just cannot be rushed. In today's society, we are so caught up with efficiency, productivity. Spiritual progress, you cannot simply, don't want to put in the time and then just go for intensive and expect it to just pop. If the mind has been accumulating all the momentum, of discrimination, of labeling, of this and that. Then suddenly you want it to grind to a halt. Maybe a bit tough for most people anyway. So if you can do that, then first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, through the cultivation. Then at some point, quite withdrawn from the senses, and then even in a way relinquishing pain and pleasure, sorrow and joy. Yeah? You relinquish even all this. Yeah? Then the mind it becomes in this stable state. Yeah? But not just this form, but also distant from drowsiness, distant from all the opposites, drowsiness and restlessness, they are opposites. Then distant from greed, sensual desire, and also hatred, evil. The Buddha described this process with the metaphor of a blacksmith. Have I mentioned it in this class? The blacksmith, yes. Did I show you the picture?
No.
No. I think I showed it in SGC. Last year when we were in India, were we in India last year? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, you were there, right? Were you there? No, the one, right? William, were you there?
Yeah.
Were you with us when we went?
Yeah, I walked.
And I took a picture, right? Yeah. So after was it after the retreat? The last day, right? So they went to not they, we went to the Tibetan, what market? Refugee market. Yeah, the refugee market. We went early in the morning, then we went to walk there, and then we saw this tea place. Then after that, walk, went to the place, walk around, nothing much all the fur stuff, and come out. Then walk. Then I saw this person by the roadside. Then he was with one leg, or something. I think, was it the fan? Was it using fan? No, it's the manual one, right? So you're using the leg, and then the hand. So in Singapore, you cannot find it. But that is exactly what is described in the sutra. You can still see it in YouTube. Just search blacksmith. Yeah. So there's a furnace, and then it's blowing it with like a bellow, right? Bellow. So as you press, then it blows air into the furnace. Then the burning becomes much stronger. And there's a piece of metal. Then you burn to a certain temperature. When it's hot enough, then king. Yeah. If it's too soft, then too soft meaning it's too hot. Then it becomes too soft. Yeah. Then put it into water to cool it down a bit. Then so the Buddha used this as a description. Why? Because in the Buddha's time, people can see this day to day. Yeah. So he used this to describe the metal when it's too hard, okay, too cold, then manage the bellow, increase temperature, heat it up. Okay? Yeah. Then when it's too hot, spray some water to cool it down. And when it's at the right temperature, then the metal is malleable. When it's malleable, the blacksmith can shape it into all kinds of tools and ornaments and things like that. Now the description is a metaphor for our mind, yeah, for a meditator. Yeah. When the mind is very dull, meaning when the mind, let's say, overcome by drowsiness, yeah, then what must you do? You must liven it, yeah? You must lift it up, yeah? Through different practices like reflection on the Dharma and so on. You must liven it. Then if it's too agitated, the parallel is the matter is too hot. Now must you do? Must cool it down. Yeah? In this case, using the samatha practices to quieten it. Basically, you do mindfulness of the breath, then it quietens it. So if you notice, in most, this is taught by the Buddha, not by me. Don't think, well, Sư Fu to come up with this. All the centers I practice always just say mindfulness of breath, not liable. The trouble is, because most of us, our mind is too unsettled. So that's why the technique is always observe the breath, quieten it. But you must know that in Buddhist meditation, it's a very active process. Just like the person, the blacksmith, it's not just keep on adding water, and then just, no, it's a very active process. You add some water, then you observe, is it too cold already? Too cold enough? Or the temperature, is it right? If it's right, then you don't add anymore. Or maybe you add too much, then you must increase the temperature. So it's a very active process. If you ever meditate, sometimes you meditate and then you find that, hey, wow, today's sitting is so good. Wow, Sư Fu, after half an hour tiang, or after 1 hour tiang, the teacher after 1 hour tiang, hey, we went past so quickly. Wow, I'm so comfortable. And maybe you have gone in between this drowsy and the non-drowsy state, somewhere in between.